When I was a kid, I was a picky eater, which wasn't unusual in my life. I knew a lot of other picky eaters, but I was always a little self-conscious about it. Was, if I ever went to a friend's house and they had food that I wasn't used to, I wouldn't want to eat it. I would pick around the plate and pretend to eat it, but I didn't. I usually didn't enjoy it, and I didn't like that. It sucked because I was always afraid of getting caught in a lie if they asked me, like, I don't know, how was it? But I also never thought of food as being this like fun thing that I get to do. It was more like a chore that I had to do. I like making my bed or brushing my teeth. It was just an obligation. But as I got older, that became more of an embarrassment, because that's like okay for kids. It felt more embarrassing the older I got, because you meet more people, you experience more types of food, and the more you have to reject that food, the more you feel like the weird one. So that all changed when I was around 22, when I was driving home from college and I was hungry, and I was craving Chinese food, but I knew that the drive home there were no Chinese places on the way home, and I didn't feel like turning around. So I just thought, if I see anything that's kind of close, that's where I'll go. And if you were ever a picky eater, or you knew picky eaters, especially like picky white kids, orange chicken, teriyaki chicken, maybe broccoli beef were like the only things that I would ever get. Anything outside of that was too weird and different. And on that drive home, I was passing by a place called Rock and Bowl Teriyaki. And I thought, hey, teriyaki chicken, that's the thing that I get. That sounds familiar. And so I went there. It was a new place. It wasn't a thing I normally did. I didn't normally go to places that I wasn't already familiar with. So it did feel very strange to be doing this in the first place. But I figured, since I'm already going somewhere a little bit unfamiliar, I will go a little bit extra. And I asked the cashier what they would order, what their favorite order was, and I ordered that to give myself a bit of a surprise, which was the first time in my life that I did that. Like, I'm saying it like it's not a big deal, and it's not a big deal. It's a very regular thing. It's a pretty easy thing to go into a restaurant and just be like, what's that? I'll have that. But it wasn't for me. For me, it was really strange, and I don't know why I was just willing to do it. Maybe it was because I thought it was familiar, and I didn't want to offend them when I looked at the menu and saw that the pictures didn't look like what I was used to. Because I don't know if you've ever ordered teriyaki chicken from like Panda Express. It's like this slab of meat that's been cut up. That's all it is. But when you go to a place like Waba Grill or Flame Broiler, or this Rock and Bowl Teriyaki place, it's like a meal. It's like rice and broccoli and cabbage and carrots and stuff. And it can be beef or chicken or both. And that was different enough, including the sauce, because I was never a sauce kid. I would eat my food dry. And so just having like the teriyaki sauce on top of it was already off-putting. But I think I was just too embarrassed to admit that I'm like, oh, I don't know this stuff, I'm just gonna leave. And I was hungry, so just all of these things added up to me just getting something a little bit unfamiliar and eating it anyway. And I ate it there, and it was really good. It was the first time in my life where I chose to eat something I wasn't used to, and it was awesome. It was really good. I became a regular there. That became a place that I would go to. It was a ritual. After class, I would go to that place. And so I got lunch there like once a week, to the point where I could ask for the usual, which is pretty sick. And it was the beginning of me no longer being picky. I wouldn't say that it cured me outright, but it definitely became a choice, because I kind of think that if you are a picky eater, it sort of is a choice. Obviously there's like food sensitivities, like allergies and intolerances and stuff, like if you're gluten-free, or like if you can't have certain foods because of, like, I don't know, health, that makes sense. But if you just don't like it because you think you don't like it, you're choosing to not fix that. You don't think of it as a problem, which maybe it isn't for you. But for me, it was a problem. And the longer I went without fixing it, the more it was just an annoying, embarrassing thing about myself that I was choosing to keep the same. For this video, I kind of want to go through my path, my journey of becoming a non-picky eater. And I'm starting with this. I'm not going to eat it because I already know that I like this. But this is effectively that teriyaki. It's just chicken. It's just chicken and rice and celery and carrots. Very good. This is not from the place that I used to get it from, because that place has shut down, and that's kind of a bummer. But that's okay. I still think we can move on to, I don't have any examples of Chinese food. I didn't want to spend too much money, so I didn't go buy a bunch of Chinese food. But because of the teriyaki, I gave myself a rule where if I go into a Chinese food place, one of my entrees has to be something that I haven't had before. And it was a very easy decision for me, because I would also get an entree that I was familiar with. If I was getting 3, then it would be 2 things I know I like, and then 1 thing that I have never had before. And that was just my way of being like, I'll try new food, and if I don't like it, I just don't have to eat it. I have plenty of what I do like. And it worked like a charm. It's been over 10 years since I started doing that, and now I don't really do it anymore, because it's very rare to see an entree that I haven't already eaten. Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of options that I haven't already given a shot. Going from teriyaki to just eating any Chinese food was how I kind of unlocked the ability to stop being saying no automatically. It didn't I didn't stop being a picky eater fully overnight. It didn't mean I could eat anything. It just meant I can eat a lot more food, and if I was willing to experiment a little bit more than usual. So with all that being said about Chinese food and teriyaki unlocking my ability to try new things, I also wanted to be able to relearn to like old things, like things that I already didn't like. One example is green olives. My family loves green olives. I've always liked black olives. That was a common thing for me to eat for some reason. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I did. And I did not like green olives, but everyone in my family did. So there was always a jar of these in the fridge. And for probably since my early 20s, if I see a jar of this, I probably won't eat one, but I would probably eat at least 1 olive up per month or every few months, because I'm just well, maybe I like them now. And there did come a point where I found a brand of these big fat olives that were way more expensive, and they came in a jar like this. It wasn't exactly this brand, but it was similar. And they were a little bit bigger and a little bit more subtle. And I think that wasn't that strong. And I like it. And because I have that brand that I found, I enjoyed it enough to be able to eat any of them now. These are not as good. They're just okay, I suppose. But learning to like them was important for me because I was picky, and being able to try new foods and being able to not avoid foods just because you think you're not going to like them. Like if you had pizza one time and you didn't like it, and now you think you don't like pizza, like that doesn't really make sense. You're kind of choosing not to like pizza because there's a ton of different pizza out there that tastes very different. Which is kind of funny for me to say because I don't really like pizza. That is one that I'm working on still. I don't dislike it. I can eat pizza. It's always been fine. I've only had like 2 or 3 pizzas in my life where I finished eating it and thought that was awesome. But it's pretty rare. And none of those places are around me. But I want to talk about memory, like flavor memory. I don't know if there's a term for it. I don't know what that's actually called, but when something reminds you of something else, so it's either better or worse because of it. And it's like, you don't actually know if you like it because how much you like it has nothing to do with the food itself. It just reminds you of something else that you don't really like. For me, alcohol is one of those things. It doesn't remind me of something, but it feels like I'm drinking poison. And it is poison, kind of. So I don't know how to train out of that. And I also am cool with not training out of it because I don't need to unlock that flavor. I think I'm happier where I'm at now. But a good example that I did want to fix was yogurt. Growing up hearing that yogurt is just a good snack, kind of healthy, and some people really like it. Like Go-Gurt or Danimals always looked really nice, but every time I tried it, the only thing I could think of was spoiled milk. It felt like I was force feeding myself spoiled milk, and when I was younger, it would like make me gag. It just reminds me of spoiled milk. So it doesn't matter how good it tastes, as long as it has the yogurt taste, it's hard for me to get past it. Until one day, and this was like 3 years ago, I made a cheesecake, and it turned out decent. It was actually pretty good. And then the next day, we went to, my girlfriend and I went to go get groceries, and she wanted to get yogurt, which I've always been jealous of because I want to like yogurt. And I saw that there was a salted caramel flavored one, Noosa brand, which I think has been discontinued. I can't find it. I can find it online, but it seems very expensive. I don't know where to get it. But anyway, I had the salted caramel flavored yogurt. I think it's Greek yogurt, and it was really good. And because I just had cheesecake, that's all I could think of. I tasted it, and my brain immediately was like, "Oh, this is kind of like that cheesecake from last night." And I permanently was able to now I can just eat plain yogurt. I don't love plain yogurt, but I can eat it. It's not disgusting. It doesn't taste like poison or spoiled food anymore. It just tastes kind of like yogurt-y. But if it's flavored, I actually enjoy it kind of a lot. Like this is the kind of yogurt that I would spend most of my 20s taking a bite of and not and wanting to spit it out. And now this is not a brand I'm super familiar with, Friendly Farms Key Lime. I've had one of these before, and I don't know, it's good, man. I couldn't do this 3 years ago. I couldn't even take one bite fully. It's awesome. So for me, that fixed that portion of my pickiness. Like the memory of other things taints the thing. I was picky because I was afraid to try new things. I was picky because I didn't like a lot of things as a kid, and so as an adult, even though I was cool trying new things, I still didn't like the old things I already said I didn't like. And I also struggled to get past the barrier of like trying one and not liking it, or connecting it to like something that doesn't feel right. Like sometimes things being sweet when I don't expect them to can trigger a like acrid like flavor note, and that makes it feel like what I'm eating has gone bad, even though it hasn't. So it's hard to give it a chance. But that's all stuff that I have overcome. Things that it's way, maybe this is your experience, but it's way easier to talk about your flaws and your problems when you feel that you have already overcome them. It doesn't feel as vulnerable to say, oh, I used to be depressed, or I used to struggle with my self-image, or like how I feel about myself in general. But currently going through it makes it way harder to talk about. I used to hate myself in a lot of ways. I would genuinely, most of my 20s, I would say from 19 to about 26, this is a real thing. I would avoid eye contact with myself in the mirror. I could use mirrors to like get ready and everything, but I never looked myself in the eyes because it made me uncomfortable. I felt like I was being judged whenever I looked at myself. And that was something that I carried a long time because I didn't feel like I was being who, at the time, I didn't know why. And now maybe I don't know fully, but I think I didn't feel like I was living up to my own expectations of myself. And I was judging myself. Like I was looking at like a loser when I didn't think I was supposed to be a loser. It's kind of like knowing someone that you love who is an addict. You love them and you grew up with them and you've known them for so long, and you've known their kindness, you've known their positive traits. But when you see them using, that's who they are right now. And that's not who you remember them as, and that's not who you're used to seeing. And it's really just a conflict of your feelings. Like you're looking at this bad person, but your heart and your mind are like, that's not who that is. So it's not that you hate them. It's kind of that you love them, and it sucks because you love them. So yeah, that's a little tidbit about myself. That's how I stopped saying I hate myself, because I don't. All that discomfort came from, I don't know, disappointing myself. It's more like a form of, I don't know, maybe toxic self-love, if that makes sense. Anyway, my bad. It would have been harder to talk about that if I were going through that right now. That would be way harder to talk about. Now I'm going to talk about food that I currently struggle to eat. A good example right now is tuna. I like the idea of tuna. I do kind of like fish. I didn't used to. I like salmon. I like sushi. I like a lot of things. Tuna just doesn't do it for me. Canned tuna specifically. I have never really liked this very much. And it's a food that I think I need to learn a positive association for, but I'm willing to eat it. But even though I'm willing to eat it, I haven't started the journey of getting used to it. My girlfriend made me this. She made herself lunch and she gave me a little bit for this video. And I'm going to see. It's, I guess, tuna, maybe mayonnaise, and some relish. That's not bad. I don't love it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. She also made one with hot sauce. I like that more, but I still don't enjoy it. And so that is an example of food that I still don't really like. I think I can eat it though. I think that is kind of similar to the green olives, where I just need to get used to it. And I also need to find one that I really like. I liked that hot sauce. It kind of eliminated the like canned fish flavor. So now that I've had that, I'll finish that later. That was just a spontaneous thing. I just threw that in because I know I don't love tuna, and I thought, hey, she's having it now. I'll try it in this video since I'm already trying stuff that I don't like. Something that I've actually been working on actively is ginger. I don't like ginger. The flavor of ginger is kind of like that sweet like that sweet decay-ish taste that I don't really love. I went to get Thai food with my friends a few years ago, and it was just very ginger forward, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I don't like Thai food. And I don't like that. That sucks. I don't like the idea of eliminating an entire type of food because I might get one flavor that I don't like. It's frustrating and it's lame. It's a little cringe. For the sake of closing out this video, I wanted to do a little experiment. I thought if I could find a way to bridge the flavor between two things that I do like and get used to a better version of the flavor, I would be able to try new food and set myself up for success. Kind of doing all three things that I mentioned today. So I do like the taste of ginger ale. It's always kind of, I know that's kind of silly saying how much I hate the taste of ginger, but specific flavors, specific brands of ginger ale are better than others. I've always liked Canada Dry, which is the only one I don't have here. But I kind of, that's kind of the point. I wondered, because there have been other brands that I haven't liked because I felt it tasted a little icky. And I think it's because I could taste the ginger a little bit more. And with Canada Dry, it just kind of tasted like Sierra Mist or Sprite or 7-Up. Like I kind of just thought it was one of those, so I didn't think of it as that. And it was supposed to be sweet because it's soda. For the past like 3 weeks, I've been buying different brands of ginger ale for the sake of getting used to the flavor. And so far, I would say, so far it's worked. I like all of these. This was all in preparation of trying something new. I wanted to see if I drank a lot of that, similar to the cheesecake and then having yogurt the next day. I wondered if I eat that and then immediately try something with like that's a little bit ginger forward, can I raise the chances of liking it this time? So for this, I ordered some ginger mushroom chicken, which sounds like it's got some ginger in it, and I am going to go into it assuming that I'm going to like it. And if I don't like it, well, then this was a waste of time. I'm not sure where's the ginger. Yeah, I'm gonna taste it. Yes, this right here. I don't know if it worked because this is good. I do like this. I think I like it more. I think it worked. I'm not sure. Really, this was just an excuse for me to try some food. Eat a bunch of different things on camera, which I've never done before. Felt a little weird, honestly. This whole setup is strange. This is not really something I'm used to. But yeah, fuck. I'll say that I'm sweating because of the lights, but it's probably because this is pretty spicy. I don't really know what the video is for. This is all just kind of interesting stuff that I thought was kind of fun. But ultimately, I just wanted to share the idea that I used to be picky when I would say my entire childhood up until 22, I was incredibly picky. About 22, I became a bit able to try new things. Probably my mid to late 20s, I unlocked old flavors. I started liking green olives a little bit more. And now just because I don't like something, it doesn't mean I'm not willing to try it again because I might like it now. and I might like this version instead. And then in my early 30s is when I was able to start teaching myself to stop misattributing things. Like, yogurt isn't spoiled milk. If it reminds you of it, that's fine, but that's not what it tastes like. You're thinking that. I was thinking that, and I was able to get past it by just having something similar. Oh, it's affecting the way my throat feels, so I'm talking funny. Now I'm 34, and I can honestly say that I would eat any food and probably enjoy it to some degree. I have not had food that I straight up don't like since the first time I tried Thai food. And now I could probably go back and eat it and kind of like it. I don't know that I would love it. I wouldn't say this is my favorite dish. If I were to go and order something, I don't know that I would order this first. But if you ordered this for me, I'd be like, oh, thanks. And then I'd eat it and I'd enjoy it and I'd be fed. I'm probably gonna eat this for dinner tonight. People can change, but I think you kind of have to want to. And if you're a picky eater because you're picky, not because of, again, like health reasons, it's a choice. It's a long-term thing. Like, it's hard to say like, oh, it's so easy to change. Yeah, it's been like 12 years since I started trying, and maybe it's not even worth the effort, but I don't like the restrictions. I don't like going into a restaurant and being worried like, what am I going to eat? It's like, I don't care. I can and will eat any food, and I'll probably enjoy it. And that is so freeing. I would like to invite you to tell me about your favorite foods, your least favorite foods, why you like it, why you don't like it. Is it something that I could get in Southern California? Because I'd like to try it. Open my eyes a little bit. Share your experience. Were you ever a picky eater? Have you never been a picky eater and you just had friends that were picky and it's always just not made sense to you? Yeah, tell me any of those things. Tell me about your experience. I really enjoy reading the comments that I get on these videos. It's nice. Yeah, I think that's all that's it for today. You have a good day. And I will also have a good day.